Going today, folks. Today we are replacing some spark plug wires because my wire had a cut over on the front cylinder, and every time it would rain, my bike would run like crap and stop running. I'm assuming that's what did it. So, I don't like to replace one half of a thing, so I'm replacing both of these wires. Shout out to Tones Performance, or Tons Performance, who sells 0 ohm, 7 mil, and thicker, different colored wires, spark plug wires. A lot of people don't know this, right? That's just a solid copper 0 ohm wire because I got an old school bike. I'm not worried about RFI interference or anything like that, apparently. I had to do a lot of research and nobody really seems to know what they're doing anymore. Everybody's like, just replace your coils, and I would, but there's nothing wrong with these coils. I tested them, which is really easy. You pull off your 2 terminals here and you measure the resistance. You should have between 3 to 5 ohms. This one is at 4 ohms. And then with these connectors off, you measure from one of these posts to the metal post in here, and you should have between 10 and 20,000 ohms. And both of these coils came out just fine. I don't mind fixing stuff, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't be a parts changer. But the cool thing is with these coils, you can see in there's a little threaded screw. Here's my boot on the other end. There's just a screw there, right? And you can see they literally just thread on. Now this one's a little rusty there at the end, so I'm glad I'm changing both of them. And there's the spark plug end. I'm using lots of dielectric grease, right? This is really great. Anytime you've got a spark plug boot, this is what they sell in as little packets for way more money per ounce than this. I think this tube is like 10 or 15 bucks. I've had this tube for probably 10 years and used it a whole bunch. You can see it's worth the investment. Anyway, I silicone between all the boots, in the boots, stuff like that. If you were to speak to an electrician or an electrical engineer, they may caution you about using dielectric grease in certain scenarios. In this particular case, I'm more worried about waterproofing, preventing water intrusion and fouling my plugs and stuff like that. But it's real easy, man. You take your brand new cord, give yourself a little bit of a counter twist, you stick it in there and push it in and twist it. Look at that right there. That's it. That wire's good. Now I can figure out where to run it up inside to get to my spark plug and put the boot on the other end. So I know my coils are good, and I'm gonna be running with some new fresh wire here. I'm not gonna lie, a little concerned, because if you'll notice, these stock wires have like an extra jacket on them. I'm pretty sure that's just an extra level of protection. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I'm actually probably gonna go ahead and order some split loom tubing or some sort of insulative jacket, because the last thing I want happens all the time on the Chevys is the spark plug wire rubbing up against stuff and getting a little short. Anyway, I hope that helps somebody. Have a great day.